So, I want to talk this morning about Donald Trump just because it's been on my mind. You know, he's starting to fade a little bit from the news. It's not on the cover of everything, but he'll be back. I just wanted to find out other people's reactions that maybe haven't been very political in the past, because I haven't been very political in the past. I typically do vote conservative, whoever I think the conservative candidate is, but I don't always make my decision just based on a party. The one thing that gets me about Donald Trump, and the reason why I don't want to like him but I like him, is because he answers a question with an answer. If the press asks a yes or no question, it seems like the other candidates have been trained on how to dodge that question and do anything except answer it because they think they're somehow going to be incriminated in some way. But Donald Trump will actually answer the question, and that's a prime example of somebody who hasn't had a political career, just acting like a normal person. He seems like a normal person to me. So I'm wondering what you guys think about that, and what your opinions of him are. Do you like him? He seems to be a polarized figure. You love him or you hate him for what he says. I don't necessarily like everything that he says, but it seems to be refreshing to me that somebody would say exactly what's on their mind. They don't need to rehearse anything. They don't need to have a teleprompter. And I guess where it hit home for me was on CNN about a week or so ago. Bobby Jindal from New Orleans or Louisiana was on television, and they asked him a very pointed question. It was a yes or no question that said, "Okay, I understand that you are running for president, but if you get beat and you're not the Republican candidate, and if Trump actually is the Republican candidate, would you vote for him?" They asked him this 4 times. I think it was Wolf Blitzer on CNN asked him that. Bobby would not answer the question. He would not say yes or no. All he would say is, "I'm trying to stop Trump from being the leader, and I'm going to win the Republican nomination." That's typical of a politician dodging a question that's trained on how to respond to the press. Would you agree with that? Because to me, it would be a simple, okay, if I don't get it and he is the presidential nomination, I don't like the guy and I'm not going to vote for him either way. I'll write in my own name. That would be a more honest answer and would make me feel better about Bobby Jindal. But at that point, I just said, you're kind of off the list at that point because you've shown your true colors. And all these guys that are on the stage, every one of them, to me, seems like this polished politician. And to me, it really doesn't matter, I guess, who wins, but I would like for whoever wins to be real. I'd like for them to actually do it. Maybe that's a pipe dream. I want somebody who's going to do what they say they're going to do, or at least say what they really mean. So what's your opinion of Trump as far as, not as a person, but just as a candidate? Do you feel like he's at least saying what he means? Is he actually telling the truth, and that when he says yes or no to a question, he's actually telling the truth? When he says yes, he actually means yes, and that he would actually do something about it. This is not about, it's not about Republican, it's not about Democrat, it's not about conservative, it's not about liberal, it's not about who's right, it's not about who's wrong, and it's not about personal attacks. It's about, what do you think of Donald Trump as an actual candidate? Do you think that he's being honest when he talks? Do you think that he's actually saying what's in his head, or do you feel like he's rehearsed this? Do you think it's do you think he planned all of this out, and the way he's running his campaign is a well thought out marketing plan by some a marketing guru, somebody has done well in the business realm, and he's using that business knowledge to, or do you feel like he believes what he says? And you may think he would be a crappy candidate for president, but do you think that he's telling the truth? If he says, the day that I get into office, I'm going to do this. I mean, if he was up on the podium and they said, "Mr. Trump, first day in office, will you push the nuke button and wipe out every other country on the earth?" And he answered, "Yeah, I would." Then when people vote for him and they really believe he would do that, okay, push the button, destroy everybody, right? But if you think he's just lying, if he's just fluff, if it's just a marketing plan, You know, I just don't get that out of him. I believe if he said he'd push the button, he'd actually push the button. So whether or not you vote for him should be based on the fact of if you think he's telling the truth, right? So, what do you think, Periscope people? Watching the news here, and all the news is about the Pope this morning, but I really don't want to talk about the Pope. I want to talk about Donald Trump. So is there anybody connected to me that actually would vote for Donald Trump? Okay, so I'm assuming that all three of you that are connected, that are lurking, are not going to vote for Donald Trump, that you wouldn't. If you wouldn't, show a heart or something. Just tap the screen. Okay, so maybe the people who are connected are actually robots out there. That would be kind of cool. And they're actually trying to hack the Periscope account right now. That would also be kind of cool. So why am I wanting to talk about Donald Trump this morning? It just seems to me that the people that I talk to on either side of an issue, when I talk to them about Donald Trump, I kind of get the same reaction from them. They love him or they hate him, but they seem to believe him when he says something. And that, I don't know, I guess that's important to me. For one, I'm tired of seeing any politician. I don't care if it's Hillary Clinton. I don't care if it's Ted Cruz. I don't care who it is. I just want somebody who doesn't look like somebody that's so slick and polished in their answers. They have this well-rehearsed answer for whatever topic that you're talking about, and then they fake the feelings. You know, I don't think Donald Trump is faking the feelings. I think the one thing that bothers me about Donald Trump is when he says something, it's not really of any substance. When he says we have a government with a bunch of stupid people, he should come after that and say, and here's the reason why, and here's the stupid person, and here's what he said. And he sticks to generalities and he doesn't get into specifics. Now maybe that's on purpose. Maybe he's holding back because as he gets closer and closer to the election, maybe if he thinks he's going to get the Republican nomination or he gets it, he's going to unload a lot more details, especially about his plans and what he would do, how his plan differs from other. But maybe he doesn't want to show all his cards at first. That may be a calculated play. I could see that as a business man playing the game, not necessarily a politician. But I think he's made no mistake on what he would do about Iran. But when he says, I will take care of women, what does that mean? I don't like it when people talk in abstract, pie-in-the-sky terms, and they don't bring it into realistic, concrete things you can understand. That kind of bothers me. But I kind of want to know what you guys think, because do I vote for a guy who I might not like personally, who I think would be a good leader, who would actually do what he said he would do, if I agree with what he said he would do? Or do I vote for somebody who I think is safe and can get the message out in a politician, professional way? I don't know. I tend to want to say that I would vote for somebody that I thought was more honest. I don't believe that Obama's honest, because I can go back and look at several times where he has said he would do something, he didn't, said he wouldn't do something and he did, that things wouldn't be a certain way and they were. Too many cases of that have happened, and I can't stand somebody who will tell you something to your face and then go back and do exactly the opposite, because you just have to watch people's actions, not their words. This is what bothers me sort of about Trump, because his words are so generic at this point. I will take care of women. Well, his definition of taking care of women and my definition of taking care of women could be two totally separate things. So that's what bothers me about Trump. So I guess it's about 9:40 on the East Coast this morning, and This is September 23rd when this was done. I'm going to leave this out here. I'm going to archive this because if anybody wants to give me some opinions through Twitter, through my Sidestep Studios account, that's fine too. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that. So, thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it.